For this square root equation, we are going to add 2 to both sides first. This will leave us with the square root of 7x is equal to 14. From there, I will then square both sides. This will leave me with 7x is equal to 196. I will then divide both sides by 7, and this will leave me with x is equal to 28. For the next question, I have the square root of 2x plus 1 plus 3 equals 10. My first step is to subtract 3 on both sides. This will leave me with the square root of 2x plus 1 is equal to 7. I will then square both sides. This will leave me with 2x plus 1 is equal to 49. I will then subtract 1 on both sides. This will leave me with 2x is equal to 48. Then I will divide both sides by 2. And this will leave me with a final solution of x is equal to 24. For the next question, my first step is to subtract 6 on both sides. This will leave me with 3 times the square root of 2x minus 4 is equal to 15. I will then divide both sides by 3. And this will leave me with the square root of 2x minus 4 is equal to 5. I will then square both sides. And this will leave me with 2x minus 4 is equal to 25. I will then add 4 on both sides. This will leave me with 2x is equal to 29. Finally, I divide both sides by 2. And this will leave me with a solution of x is equal to 29 divided by 2. For the next question, I have 4 times the square root of x minus 2 plus 3. My first step is to subtract 3 on both sides. This will leave me with 4 times the square root of x minus 2 is equal to 12. I will then divide both sides by 4. And this will leave me with the square root of x minus 2 is equal to 3. I will then square both sides. And this will leave me with x minus 2 is equal to 9. From there, I will then add 2 to both sides, plus 2. Plus 2. This will leave me with x equals 11 as the final solution. For the next question, we have the square root of 4x minus 3 is equal to the square root of 2x plus 13. My first step is to square both sides. This will leave me with 4x minus 3 is equal to 2x plus 13. Now for this question, you can do this in multiple different ways, but I always recommend to move the variables to the left-hand side. So I will subtract 2x on both sides. This will leave me with 2x minus 3 is equal to 13. I will then add 3 to both sides. This will leave me with 2x is equal to positive 16. Then I will divide both sides by 2. And this will leave me with a final solution of x is equal to positive 8. From there, my next question is parentheses 2x minus 10 to the 1/2 power is equal to 4. Now keep in mind that if you ever see the 1/2 power, it is always recommended to rewrite this to be the square root of 2x minus 10 is equal to 4. So that's my recommendation. Always rewrite it. Then I will square both sides. This will leave me with 2x minus 10 is equal to 16. I will then add 10 to both sides. This will leave me with 2x is equal to 26. Then I will divide both sides by 2. And this will leave me with a final solution of x is equal to 13. For the next question type, we have x minus 4 is equal to the square root of 3x minus 2. My first step is to square both sides. On the left-hand side, x minus 4 to the second power will expand to be x squared minus 8x plus 16 is equal, on the right-hand side, 3x minus 2. From there, I will then move all the terms to the side that contains the x squared. In this case scenario, I will move all of them to the left side. So I will do minus 3x plus 2. Minus 3x plus 2. This will now turn into x squared. There's no like term. Negative 8x minus 3x will leave you with negative 11x. 16 plus 2 will give you positive 18 is equal to 0. Now, looking at this, I notice right away that the factors for this will be the following. We will have x minus 9 times x minus 2. And it makes sense, right? If you look at this, negative 9 times negative 2 will give you positive 18. Negative 9 plus negative 2 will give you negative 11. So the final solutions are x is equal to positive 9 and x is equal to positive 2. But if you're ever working with quadratics with the square root function, you have to look for extraneous solutions. So let's go ahead and check our solutions. Let's begin with the first one. For x equals 9. And what we're going to do is substitute it into the original. So we have 9 minus 4 is equal to the square root of 3 times 9 minus 2. This will leave me with 5 on the left-hand side. The square root of 3 times 9. 3 times 9 gives you 27. 27 minus 2 will give you 25. And the square root of 25 is going to be 5. So this one checks out. So x equals 9 will be a solution. For the second one, we have our check for x equals positive 2. So we have what? We have 2 minus 4 is equal to the square root of 3 times 2 minus 2. And this will leave us with negative 2 on the left-hand side. 2 minus 4 gives you negative 2. And the square root of 3 times 2, that gives you 6. 6 minus 2 gives you 4. So we have negative 2 is equal to, well, the square root of 4 is going to be positive 2. So negative 2 is equal to 2. Does that make sense? No, it does not. So this is not going to be a solution. So in this case scenario, the only solution is x equals 9. For the next question type, we have x equals the square root of 4x plus 5. My first step is to square both sides. On the left-hand side, this will turn into x squared. On the right-hand side, this will turn into 4x plus 5. And again, our goal is to move all the terms to the side that contains the x squared. In this case, I will subtract 4x and 5 on both sides. This will leave me with x squared, there's no like term for it, minus 4x, minus 5, there's no like terms for it, equals 0. From there, looking at this, we can notice right away that the factors for this quadratic will be x minus 5 and x minus 1, or excuse me, plus 1. Okay, remember the idea is that you're looking for the factors of negative 5, what two numbers multiply to give you negative 5, and when added together will give you that middle term negative 4. So from there, it makes sense. Negative 5 times positive 1 will give you negative 5. Negative 5 plus 1 will give you negative 4. From there, we then set our solutions. We have x is equal to positive 5, and we have x is equal to negative 1. From there, we do our check on the upper right-hand corner. So we have our check for x equals 5. So we have what? 5 is equal to the square root of 4 times 5 plus 5. On the left-hand side, 5 will remain the same. On the right-hand side, we have 4 times 5. That gives us 20. 20 plus 5 gives you 25. So we have 5 equals, well, the square root of 25 is going to be 5. So this one checks out. For the second one, we do our check for x equals negative 1. Okay. And for this one, we have what? Negative 1 is equal to the square root of 4, parentheses, negative 1, plus 5. On the left-hand side, negative 1 remains the same. On the right-hand side, we have 4 times negative 1, that's negative 4, plus the 5 will leave us with positive 1. So we have what? Well, the square root of 1 is going to be 1. So is negative 1 equal to 1? No, it's not. So the only solution that we have is going to be x equals 5. For the next question, we have x minus 1 is equal to the square root of 5x minus 9. My first step is to square both sides. This will leave us with x squared minus 2x plus 1 on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we have 5x minus 9. Then we move all the terms to the side that contains the x squared. So we have minus 5x plus 9 minus 5x plus 9 on the left-hand side and right-hand side. This will leave us with x squared. Negative 2x minus 5x will leave us with negative 7x. Positive 1 plus 9 will give us positive 10 is equal to 0. From there, looking at this quadratic, we notice right away that the factors are going to be x minus 5 and x minus 2. So from there, and it makes sense, right? Negative 5 times negative 2 will give you positive 10. Negative 5 plus negative 2 will give you negative 7. From there, let's go ahead and set our factors to be equal to 0. So we have x equals 5 and x is equal to positive 2. And now we check for extraneous solutions. So we have our check for x equals 5. So we have 5 minus 1 on the left. On the right, we have the square root of 5 times 5 minus 9. On the left, this will leave us with what? 5 minus 1, that's 4, equals the square root of 5 times 5, that's 25, minus 9, that will leave you with positive 16. So we have 4 is equal to, well, the square root of 16 is going to be positive 4. So this one checks out. So this is a solution. And now we have our second check. For this one, we have x equals 2. And we substitute it into the original. So we have 2 minus 1 is equal to the square root of 5 times 2 minus 9. 2 minus 1 will leave us with 1. On the right-hand side, we have the square root of 5 times 2. That's 10. 10 minus 9 leaves us with 1. So we have 1 is equal to, well, the square root of 1 is going to be 1 as well. So this one checks out as well. So in this case scenario, for this square root equation, we have two solutions. Okay. For the next question, our first step is to square both sides. On the left, I have x squared is equal to 2x plus 8. Then I move all the terms to the left-hand side. This will leave me with x squared minus 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. From there, I will then look for the factors of my quadratic equation. Looking at this, we have the following factors. We have x minus 4 and x plus 2. And it makes sense, right? If you look at this, we have negative 4 times positive 2. That will give us negative 8. Negative 4 plus 2 will give us negative 2. And from there, we set our factors to be equal to 0. So we have x equals positive 4. And we have x is equal to negative 2. From there, we check for extraneous solutions. So we do our first check here for x equals 4. So we have 4 equals the square root of 2 times 4 plus 8. On the left-hand side, we have 4. On the right-hand side, we have 2 times 4. That gives us 8. 8 plus 8 gives you 16. So we have 4 is equal to, well, the square root of 16 is going to be 4. And that one checks out. For the next check, we are doing this for x equals negative 2. So we substitute this into the original. We have negative 2 is equal to the square root of 2 times negative 2 plus 8. On the left side, we have negative 2. And on the right-hand side, we have 2 times negative 2. That's negative 4. Negative 4 plus 8 will leave you with positive 4. So we have negative 2 is equal to the square root of 4. The square root of 4 is positive 2. So this one does not check out. Hence, the only solution will be x equals 4. All right, let's move on to our next question. For this one, our first step is to square both sides. This will leave us with x squared minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 7x plus 1. We then move all the terms to the left, so minus 7x minus 1, minus 7x minus 1. This will leave us with x squared. Negative 2x minus 7x will give you negative 9x. Positive 1 minus 1 will give you 0. We do not have to write down 0. So all of this is equal to 0. Now looking at this, notice that we have just 2 terms. If you just have 2 terms, you cannot easily do the factored format that we have been doing. So what you're going to do is look for the greatest common factor. The greatest common factor in this case scenario is that both terms share x in common, right? So we have x parentheses. X squared divided by x will leave you with x. Negative 9x divided by x will leave you with negative 9 equals 0. So now looking at this, we can set our factors to be equal to 0. So for the first one, we have x equals 0. For the second one, we have x equals 9. And now we do our checks. So we have our first check with x equals 0. So we have 0 minus 1 is equal to the square root of 7 times 0 plus 1. That's going to leave us negative 1 on the left side. And on the right-hand side, we have 7 times 0. That's 0 plus 1. That leaves you with 1. So we have negative 1 is equal to the square root of 1. Well, the square root of 1 is going to be positive 1, so this one does not work out. For the second check, we are doing this for x equals positive 9. For this one, we have what? We have 9 minus 1 is equal to the square root of 7 parentheses 9 plus 1. On the left-hand side, we have 9 minus 1. That leaves us with 8 is equal to 7 times 9. That's 63 plus 1. That leaves you with 64. So we have 8, excuse me, is equal to the square root of 64. Well, the square root of 64 is positive 8, so this one checks out. So the only solution is going to be x equals 9. Okay, for the final question, we have to square both sides. On the left-hand side, we have x squared is equal to x plus 12. So I will subtract x, I will subtract 12 on both sides. This will leave me with x squared minus x minus 12, since we don't have like terms. Looking at this, the factors will be x minus 4 and x plus 3 equals 0. From there, I set the factors to be equal to 0 to find my solutions, and I have x equals 4 and x is equal to negative 3. From there, I check for extraneous solutions. I will do my first check here for x equals positive 4. So I have 4 equals the square root of 4 plus 12. This will leave me with 4 equals the square root of 4 plus 12. That gives me 16. We have 4 equals, well, the square root of 16 is going to be 4, so that one works out. Then we have to check for x equals negative 3. So we have negative 3 is equal to the square root of negative 3 plus 12. So we have negative 3 on the left. On the right-hand side, we have negative 3 plus 12. That gives us 9. So we have negative 3 is equal to what? Well, the square root of 9 is going to be 3. So this one does not work out. Hence, the only solution is going to be x equals 4.